it's Holly here from Your Past is a Gift. Now, continuing on with the previous video of judgment, when we judge that something is wrong, and then all of a sudden we find ourselves doing these things. Now, this is the most frustrating thing, but all in all, I want you to think about, okay, so for some parents, smacking is completely acceptable. Okay, for them, if they're not smacking their child, if they're not correcting their child's behavior, then they're not, that's their way of showing their love. Okay, they're not loving them if they're letting them do whatever they want, and then they're going to go into society and they're not going to fit in. Okay, then they're not loving their children. Okay, so to them, smacking and disciplining their children in that way, or yelling at them, is the way they show their love. Now, for other parents, that's totally unacceptable. Okay, smacking your child or yelling at your child is completely unacceptable to that person. And they may have different methods on how they discipline their child. But I can promise you, now that I am a parent, the love in the heart from a parent that smacks and the parent that doesn't smack is exactly the same. It's just that for the parent that smacks, this is what they've grown up with. Mostly that's they resort to that because it worked in their childhood. You know, when their parents smacked them, they stopped misbehaving or being naughty or whatever it is that you want to call it. Okay, so the smacking, they understood that. Okay, and they stopped doing that. You know, they started to behave. Now, with other parents, you know, those ones that don't accept the smacking, for them, they will sit down with the child, they will explain to the child, or they will find other ways of punishing. Now, here's the thing, and I really want you to think about this. Sometimes the words that parents use to their children, you know, to discipline their children, sometimes the mental damage can be much worse than just a simple smack. The words that you use, you know, to discipline the child, to make them feel bad, to guilt them into doing the right thing. This is the tools, you know, that a lot of parents use. They make them feel guilty that they've done something wrong or that they've upset them in some way, you know. And so they'll send them to their room or put them in time out or all these other different methods. But the truth of it is that because you haven't smacked them or you haven't yelled at them doesn't mean that it's a better system. Because the child that's being smacked, he knows he's done something wrong. Okay, he knows by the parents' reaction, okay, they've done something wrong, you know. But for the longest time, I can remember okay, my mum yelled and smacked me, and we all know that. But if my dad was upset with me and he didn't talk to me, that, to me, was more heartbreaking, it was more damaging to me than all the smacks my mum could give me. You know, that withdrawal, the feeling that they've withdrawn their love, that they disapprove of what you've done. To me, sometimes, words or not saying anything to your child can do a lot more damage than just giving them the simple smack. Because it's all to do with what words have you used, you know, to teach this child. Is it something that's made them feel guilty? Is it something that's made them feel bad about who they are? And will they carry this for the rest of their life now? You know, that they're a bad person, or they've done something wrong. And so they start to feel defective in some way because you've withdrawn your love, you've punished them, you know, in a way that's very hurtful inside. See, the smack is painful on the outside, you know, but sometimes punishments can be very hurtful inside the person. So I want you to think about that today. Just because you're not smacking your child, you know, and you're not yelling at them, doesn't mean that the way you're punishing them to tell them that something is wrong, you know, is in the long run going to be a good thing for this child. So, judgment. It's a funny thing. You know, some people have their dogs inside the house. To some people, that's unacceptable. The dog has to be outside the house as a pet. You know, some people will let their dogs sleep in their beds. You know, other people, that's unacceptable. You know, the dog can be in the house, but it has to be, you know, allocated to certain, he's only allowed in certain rooms. Judgment. You know, we are the ones that decide when something is right and when something is wrong because of our judgment of it. Okay, I'd like you to really think about that today, and we're going to keep talking about judgment in the next few videos of what is right and what is wrong and why it is so. Okay, my darlings. Thanks for watching. Remember to click like and subscribe below so you don't miss any of the messages coming your way, and I'll see you in the next video, okay? Bye for now.